My friend is coming.
Yes, the guy we're meeting is coming.
I'm waiting for an exclusive interview with a top member of the Afghan Taliban. The room is small, few possessions, a gun by the computer. There is only one way in and only one way out of this safe house. We agreed not to reveal the location, but on the way we were watched. Could this be a setup? These days the Taliban are kidnapping reporters. As he arrives, Zabiullah Mujahid has phones in both hands. He is nervous, and although I only notice it later, he has pistol holsters under his jacket. He is spokesman for the Taliban's top leader, Mullah Omar. Before the interview, he covers his head, refuses to show his face to the camera, but there is nothing hidden about his message. A new Taliban offensive is imminent.
These months there will be more attacks, more suicide attacks, because the war policy has changed as there are new US troops coming.
20,000 more US troops are on the way to Afghanistan in the next few months. Mujahid has a warning for President Obama. However many come, it won't be enough.
Afghanistan will be the Vietnam for them. I want to tell you clearly, we will win and they will die.
You're laughing, but I don't understand how you can laugh when you're up against the strongest army in the world. With drones and missiles.
This is the war of martyrdom. Don't worry about this. We want to fight. We want to fight for martyrdom.
He tells me to watch this Taliban propaganda video to see how they are targeting US helicopters. You can see the tracer fire from the left and what seems to be an explosion underneath the helicopter. Incredibly, the same attack appears to be filmed from several angles. The helicopter appears to survive the attack, but the cargo beneath falls off, burning. The US military is one target, but Mujahid is drawing the battle lines for a broader war. Key for US success in Afghanistan are presidential elections expected in fall.
We ask from our Muslim brothers and our population not to take part in this election.
Will you try to stop the elections happening?
We'll target the Afghan parliamentary members and government officials. So if there is elections, yes, it's clear, we will target them.
He claims the Taliban in Afghanistan are getting support from across the border, from Pakistani Taliban, but says they are not involved in the bloody conflict that threatens the stability of nuclear-armed Pakistan. But are they closely involved with Al-Qaeda and terror networks that target the West? What's the relationship between the Taliban and Al-Qaeda?
We're not under the command of Al-Qaeda. Some people are coming to fight, and we say welcome.
But they help you. But Al-Qaeda helps you.
We are from this country. We are the boss.
Are you getting people that would have gone to Iraq before now coming to Afghanistan to fight the Americans there?
We do not ask for any fighters from Europe. We don't ask them to come. If they come freely, yes. Also, we don't need for the foreign fighter. For example, in some provinces we have suicide bombers for the next 3 or 4 months.
He won't tell me how many foreign fighters are coming or how many Taliban there are, but he boasts about their support. Says Taliban sympathizers in President Karzai's inner circle helped try to kill him last year. He says the Taliban has informers inside US bases.
Inside the American bases, there are more people who help us, and we have intelligence from A to Z inside the structure of all the foreigners, including the Afghan government.
Part of a new US strategy is eradicating the lucrative opium poppy in Afghanistan, but Mujahid says it won't hurt the Taliban. You don't make money from opium poppies?
Never.
So this is
Never. Taliban not have land to cultivate poppy. How?
You take money from farmers?
It's not true. Not true once. Why don't you ask the farmer? Could you tell me from where? No, it's not happening.
It's not what US troops say. From their experience, farmers and villagers alike are intimidated by the Taliban, forced to hand over a cut of their profits. I want to ask more about the poppies, but Mujahid wants the interview short, and I have many questions. I ask, what's the Taliban's ultimate goal?
To enforce the Sharia law and Islamic government in Afghanistan and to remove foreign forces from our country.
I also want to know how they justify their suicide bombings that are killing so many civilians, a tactic Afghans abhor as un-Islamic.
This is from the history of Islam. This is part of the jihad and part of the fighting.
What is your policy towards Afghan civilians?
Our jihad is against the crusader. We do not want to kill civilians. We ask of the civilians, don't be close to the troops, be away from them, not to be targeted.
He denies that the Taliban are in back-channel talks with the Afghan government. It's not what I've heard from other sources, but he does agree with what the same sources have told me. The Taliban accept they cannot win by military means alone, an admission that sets them apart from Al-Qaeda.
Can the Taliban win by military means alone, or does there need to be some kind of talks?
We believe by both, by negotiation and also by war. We ask them to leave the country, we are ready to talk. So they are not ready to leave, so they want to talk by the mouth of the gun, we will talk by the mouth of the gun.
Long before I've run out of questions, he's getting up to leave. He had relaxed during the interview, but has been getting edgy for the last 10 minutes. Still worried, it seems, the interview may have been an elaborate setup to capture him. Throughout, Zabiullah Mujahid spoke clearly, concisely, and with authority, and left me in no doubt the war is far from over. Nick Robertson, CNN.